So we're on the final week, the last week on building, and this week the major focus is building strong leaders around you. So once we've built that trust and rapport with people, once we've resolved and minimized the conflicts, and then finally once we're able to get people enthusiastically cooperating with us, how do we build that next generation of leaders? And these 7 principles are really designed to help us do that. So today, what we really want you to focus on is principle number 22, which is to establish solid trust before you offer advice to people. And by the way, this is the one that is probably one of the toughest for most people that are in a new leadership role to kind of do, unless they've been through a program like the one that you're going through. Because we spent that first week, those first 7 days, really building up the trust and rapport with people. So as a result of doing that, the things that we're going to cover later on the week, tomorrow and the next day and the next day, they're going to be much easier for you to do because you've already put in the time to build that trust and really do those things from the first week. So that is one of the most valuable parts. Now, the analogy I like to use, or the example I like to use here that kind of explains this and why this is important, is I was years ago I was teaching a class down in Chicago, down the Magnificent Mile. You know, some big, huge hotels and department stores and that kind of thing. And I was going out to lunch and I'm walking, there's a guy standing on a soapbox and he's got a megaphone and he's yelling at the top of his lungs to this megaphone. He's yelling, "Jesus saves!" And it's funny because, by the way, just so you know, I'm a Christian in that I actually believe that what the guy was saying was true. However, I was watching the way people were interacting with this guy, and they weren't. They were actually making a wide swath around the milk carton to stay away from him. Number one is because he was screaming through the megaphone, but number two is because everybody was kind of a little hesitant to interact with him because he was kind of beating everybody over the head with this information. And obviously that's an extreme version, but that happens a lot in the business world. A lot of times we'll get into a leadership position, a supervisory position, and we'll want to start dictating, we want to start ordering people around. And until we establish that solid trust, it's all going to fall on deaf ears. And you might get people to comply with you temporarily, but most likely, as soon as you turn your back, they're going to do the exact opposite. So establish solid trust before you offer people advice and you'll get a much better result.